So
That's awesome.
you have a fun document, the Buyer's Guide, the Metal Roofing Alliance's Ultimate Buyer's Guide, and that's kind of what we're talking about today. So can you tell us what is the Buyer's Guide and why is it an important resource for homeowners?
Yeah, so it was born out of a lot of discussions with homeowners that I had early on in my tenure with the MRA, and the number of questions and just the amount of misinformation and just unknown information out there about the roofing process in general, but specifically about metal roofing's role in that area. And so after a few years of handling these questions and answering them and kind of just seeing where the trends were and what was causing the most concern, we decided that maybe a buyer's guide would make sense. So it's an overarching document to guide homeowners through the re-roofing process of their home. It is slanted towards metal, obviously, but really a lot of the chapters and a lot of the focus is just on the re-roofing process. Like, how do you know you need a new roof? What are the things you look for? What are the regional considerations you should take into account when you're trying to decide the right metal roof? And then, of course, there's information about metal roofing in there as well. And most of it is aimed at just, again, there's a lot of myths or misinformation about metal roofing. So it's really just accurate, concise information about what metal roofing is, what the benefits are, things to consider. So, yeah, so we just kind of decided all of that could be put into a buyer's guide and given to homeowners to guide them through that re roofing process.
That's awesome. That is so I think every, roofing association should have something like that for homeowners and building owners looking to, buy a new roof or when they're buying a house. I think that's such good information. So cool that you guys do that.
Yeah.
Um kind of kind of, opening the pages of the buyer's guide, what are some signs that it's time for a new roof? If I'm a homeowner and I'm looking at my roof and thinking, "Oh, I don't know." So, what are some signs to call a contractor?
Yeah. Yeah, there's quite a few. Obviously, leaks would
Right?
be a major sign. But even things as, more subtle, such as your heating bills or cooling bills continue to rise. You're finding a lot of, in the case of asphalt, a lot of asphalt granules in your gutters when you're going to clean out your gutters, or you've got missing or curling shingles, just things like that. Just, a lot of it is visual, just looking at the roof, but there's also some aspects that are not necessarily directly related to the roof, but the roof impacts, again, such as heating, cooling.
Yeah. That's a good the heating cooling, that's a smart one I would not have thought of. So, that's good advice.
Um, so how does local climate affect which materials people choose for their roofs? Because each climate has its own different weather and, natural disasters and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, let's be honest, with your home, that's kind of, typically one of your bigger, if not biggest purchases that you're going to make. So that you've got a lot of money wrapped up in that. And it's not just the home itself or the roof itself, but it's what's inside the home as well that comes into play. So if you get a leak, if your roof blows off, whatever the case may be, then you're exposing not just, the exterior of your home, but everything that's inside. And that includes people as well. So weather and region play a huge part in the roof selection. So for example, in the areas such as the Pacific Northwest, where we have wildfires, are fairly consistent, and or heavy snow loads and ice loads. Those are things that a metal roof can handle better than most other roofing materials, just based by the sheer design of the system, the roofing system itself, and the materials. Versus in, we'll say the Southeast, Florida, what have you, with the high winds and the hurricanes, and the fact that metal roofing systems, the way they're designed to handle wind uplift, they are more apt or more likely to stay on the home during the course of a hurricane than are other roofing materials. Hail in the Midwest, so So those are some of the regional considerations to take into account when you're trying to decide what roofing material makes the best solution for your home.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so much to consider when you're buying a new roof. So what if someone's asking, should I get a metal roof? What advantages would you tell them that metal roofs have over non-metal?
Okay, yeah. Well, there's many, but just kind of going down the list, and usually based on what the homeowners I've spoken with are most interested in, is going to be first and foremost that longevity of a metal roof. So if you install a quality metal roof, you're going to do it once in like a 50 plus year period, or 40, depending on the system, 40, 50 plus years, versus an asphalt roof. You're probably going to be replacing that 2 to 3 times in that same period of time. And so, there's the longevity, the durability, which we just talked about in regards to weather events, but also just, general wear and tear, the ease of maintenance. Ease of maintenance actually is one that's popped up a lot here lately as well, as homeowners want something that they can throw up on a roof. I say throw up, obviously professionally install the right system on the roof by someone else, but that they can pay to put up, and then they don't have to really touch it again. Right? It is very low maintenance. It's easy to clean if you do have to clean it. It's durable. It's long lasting. So that is probably one of the bigger appealing aspects of a metal roof. Then you venture into the heating and cooling costs that we touched on a little bit earlier. There are some cost savings. Your home value goes up with a metal roof. So there's a lot of benefits out there, but those are the big ones that usually people are most interested in.
If your roof needs answers, subscribe now to the Ask a Roofer podcast. We've got your questions covered, one episode at a time. Go to AskARoofer.com to submit your questions and learn more. Stay tuned and keep those questions coming.